Argentina is located in South America, and like many of the other countries in South America, very strong in the Catholic faith. Argentina especially loves Mary, and specifically Our Lady of Lujan. The story is quite fascinating, and I'm going to tell you today. In the year 1630, there was a very wealthy man who owned a lot of land, about 1,000 miles from the city of Buenos Aires, which is Argentina's largest city. This wealthy man noticed that people living out in the farmlands, or the farmers themselves, were weak in their faith. And he thought about this and decided to build a shrine in honor of Mary, hoping that if people came to the shrine, that they would develop a deeper love for Jesus. He knew that if people had a deep devotion to Mary, then they would develop a stronger love for Jesus, her son. So he knew he needed a statue. So he ordered one from Brazil. And remember, back in that time, obviously, there were no airplanes or highways. So he had the statue sent on a ship all the way down the coast to Buenos Aires. And again, since there were no trains or trucks or anything like that, the only way to get the statue was to put it on a cart pulled by oxen. And those carts would be loaded with all kinds of cargo, similar to what UPS does. And they would drop stuff off for people along the way. So the statue was brought on that cart, and it was so heavy. About 60 miles into the trip, the oxen stopped pulling the cart, and they refused to move any further. People thought that maybe they were tired because the cart was so heavy. So they took all the boxes off. And the one box with the statue of Mary in, as soon as they took it off, the oxen started moving. So they stopped the oxen, grabbed the statue in the box, and put it back on the cart. And again, the oxen stopped. They wouldn't budge. So again, they took the box with the statue off, and the oxen moved. And they then realized that it was a sign from God that that statue was supposed to stay there. And that's where the shrine was built. Not further up where the rich man wanted, but right where the oxen stopped. With that statue in the shrine, lots of people came to visit it until the government decided to build a new road. And the road was quite far from the shrine. So people stopped going. Less and less people visited the shrine. So they decided they would build a new one right near the road. After it was built, they took the statue and moved it to the new shrine. Thought everything was just perfect. But the next day, when people got to the shrine, the statue was missing. They looked all over for it and finally found it in the old shrine. So they took the statue and brought it back to the new shrine. But the next day, the same thing happened. The statue was found in the old shrine. And then people realized that this was happening because they hadn't yet had a formal blessing of the new shrine and hadn't yet had a processional honoring the statue's new home. So they went ahead and had a formal processional. People prayed the rosary, and when they got to the shrine with the new statue, the priest blessed the shrine, and the statue stayed there for quite some time after, until sometime in the 1800s. And at that point, the shrine became too small for the crowds of people that would come to see it. So they decided to build a new, bigger church, which is there to this day. And now it's a basilica. Pope Francis was born and raised in Argentina. So, like other people from Argentina, he loves Our Lady of Lujan. I certainly hope that you enjoyed this story today about Our Lady of Lujan. God bless you.